All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is October 26, 2016, and this is a Wednesday night webinar. And the title of tonight's webinar is Identified Lightning and How to Trade It. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we might have, our live trading room, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, we'll go ahead and get started. How many of you, just a quick heads up, I see some new people in here, I see some old pros. So we've got a good mixture of basically quite a few in here of different levels of expertise. How many of you are having trouble seeing the swings at all? And I won't mention any names. I just want to see if anybody seems to be having trouble identifying lightning, because that's what this webinar is for. I can tell you this, that the people that I've seen turn their trading around have been the ones that have finally figured it out, have actually seen what lightning actually is and everything. Now you notice that I've got a chart up on the screen, right? And this is not even though it's a real chart, I don't have any data on it at all. But I just want to mention to you, there is such simplicity in trading this, okay? And Identified Lightning will change your trading for the better, okay? You will know the entries, you'll know your targets, and you'll know your stops, okay? Now, obviously, this is an uptrend, right? And this is a downtrend, right? Now, what made that a downtrend and what made that an uptrend? Let's see. Doug, on your question, what do you mainly use? Just curious. What do you like? Now, one thing that I firmly believe myself, you notice that, I don't always wait for those breakouts. I like the retracement trades. And I'm going to show you exactly where those type of trades are on the chart and where somebody would be able to see them quite easily. I see swings, but I can't tell which is a major trend or a medium trend, etc. Okay, I'm going to teach you that tonight. Okay, but first off, just for simplicity, because we've got some brand new people in the room tonight. All right, I want everybody, even old pros, what makes this an uptrend and this a downtrend? Okay, even if you're an old pro, you're thinking, well, what the heck is he asking that for? I mean, we're talking about minor stuff. Anybody should know this, but you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't know it, or they'd be able to trade it. Okay, Mary says higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows, right? Okay, stair step up or down, which is exactly the same thing, right? Now, what I did here is I went ahead and covered up, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this text, and then we're going to move the magic box here. Okay, and that's exactly the answer, right? Now, if you are looking at this chart, okay, just pretend you don't care where it starts, because, lightning swings start at any place that you decide to start trading on the chart. Okay, but you have a low, okay? You have what? A high, and you have what? A higher high. All right, but what is this? A higher low. Okay, that of course is the definition of an uptrend, right? You have anywhere you start, it doesn't matter where you start, low, high, higher low, higher high. That did not become a trend though until it took out that higher high, or that high to the left there. As in this one is your high, your low, whoops, don't want to move the whole chart, your low, and what have we got right here? Well, we've got a lower high and we've got a lower low. Now that's as basic as it gets, right? But you would be so amazed at how accurate that can be in your trading, because on every single chart you're going to see this in 3, and even 4 trends. Now the 4th trend is actually your Lightning 4. I use that more for just really, more major type swings. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next chart, and I want to show you some things here real quick. Bear with me a second. You should be able to see another chart coming up. Okay, now look at this chart right here and tell me, when did this chart start heading back down? This chart right here. We don't care if this is Lightning 3, but it is Lightning 3. But let's just say, when did this chart start heading down for sure? Okay, I'm going to move my line and you tell me when it gets there. Now keep in mind, this is an uptrend, right? On this side, so we've got to get a downtrend going down, right? So when did this actually start heading down? Anybody? Now we don't have prices here, but isn't that where I would move my line? And when that thrust below there, that is absolutely where this started heading down. And you'll notice in real time, they'll give you a little thrust, they'll pull back up and they'll kiss resistance. And then if they're really going to head down, they're going to roll over. But they are going to take out your previous swing to the left when they do these type of trades. Okay? Every single time you're going to see this time and time again on your charts. So when this became a downtrend was absolutely when this was broken right here, right? Wrong color box. I thought I changed my box colors. Make it nice and that's not even. There we go. That's good enough. Everybody see that where it broke that right there? That was the start of a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low when it took out that high even. We don't care if it goes all the way down to here. We just know that it broke here. Okay? Now look at the exact same thing on a Lightning 1. All right? Because I'm going to draw some lines on here and show you, you can see the same thing on here. Now this is not real data. I drew this and it took me quite a while to get it accurate. But if you look at this, I'm going to show you some things here. All right. Notice when this came up to the swing. Okay, see the swing over here? And it came down. All right. Notice it came down exactly that spot. And then it popped up again, right? Now, notice that when it makes a higher high over here, then it makes a low again. But where would your stop be in this scenario? Well, obviously it'd be right here, right? Okay. And when you're trading Lightning 1, you can actually use your Lightning 1 or even Lightning 2 for that same stop. Okay. But let's ask the same question over here. We know that this started breaking down here. Now watch what happens on this chart over here even. Everybody seeing it starting to break down? See it? It's kissing, and it broke down. Notice how that broke down. It kissed, which is exactly where this kissed, and then it rolled over. Okay? But when did this one start breaking down even? Well, you had a high here, a low here, a lower high, and a lower low. So it was starting to right here. But then you look to the left and you say, whoa, wait a minute. It didn't take out that little swing right there because that's actually an uptrend on the left side. So I usually put mine under there. And then if this does any kind of a kiss and rolls, and I've got my right color backgrounds and things like that, or even if I've got choppy sideways, that's pretty much where that rolled over for that downtrend. Okay? Now, always watch for the confirmed lightning. Now, when I talk about identified lightning is basically in your ballpark somewhat. Okay, because you can wait for lightning to close above or below a previous swing, or you can wait for it to close plus X ticks. Okay, with lightning. Okay, we've got that feature built into lightning. Now let me show you a chart, and I'm going to ask you the same thing on here just by what we've been talking about. And this is real data here, by the way. Okay, this is today. All right, and this is real data. So if you're looking at this chart right here, where is the trade on this chart? Where does everybody think that more than likely the trade is? Now I look for predictors. They're great, but I also always look to the left to trade the right. Okay? Now, to me, the trade on this chart is right here. Everybody see it? Okay, so let's draw a line there and see if it actually is the trade. All right, I'm going to go ahead and darken this line. We'll do a dark blue for today. Kind of a pretty color. All right, everybody see that, why I did that? Okay, everybody sees that, right? Because notice that that predictor is actually a little lower. Now, if you wanted to get in this trade like with maybe a contract or so and it hits predictor, you know, I see a little swing over here to the left. Okay, so could it hit its head there? Very possibly. But if you look to the left to trade the right, I can tell you this, that when you draw lightning, and if you see it with your eyes, you're going to see those swings. Okay, now look at this. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. See there? Lower high than the previous swing. Lower low because it took out this swing, right? So ask yourself a question. Where's the trade? Now, where would your stop be if that trade doesn't decide to stop there? Anybody? Let's say that we just get in if it hits this swing right here. Where would our stop be? Anybody? I'm going to start bringing the line down and you tell me where our stop's going to be. Is it going to be all the way up here? I'm hoping none of y'all say yes on that one. Or is it going to be here? Or is it going to be here? Because guess what? That is your identified swing. Now, what did I say just a few minutes ago was the absolute definition of a downtrend? What have we got here? We've got high, low, lower high. So you could put an H there, an L there, right? A lower high here, a lower low here, a lower high here, even lower than that one. See it? It's still stair-stepping. And of course now we don't know if it's going to continue down, but we've got on our chart telling us where our trade is and also where our stop would need to be. Okay, everybody sees that. All right, so right there would be as high as I would go. Now keep in mind if this does some other type of a, pop up a little bit and makes lightning, we'll have even a different, better stop than this, right? But for the time being, that would be our stop. So let's put Object Trader on the chart and see if we can get a trade like that. All right, since it's oil, we'll do 3. All right, everybody sees that. Now, by the way, you can use Sniper if you want. Notice that Sniper always turns off the long entry, short entry. That's a safety there because we don't want it just firing for the heck of it. Okay, so Sniper, click your enter button. It turns it on, right? Now, which Sniper is this? Which of these two is it? Just a quick lesson on that. Anytime the price is below the line, that's the top, okay? Anytime it's above the line, just for instance like this right here, and hit enter again, this would be your bottom one. See there, T is your lime color and B is your magenta color. And sad to say we've never changed that. I really want to work on Sniper here in the near future because I really want to get away from this. Okay? But anyway, isn't that our trade right there? Now, we wouldn't want to short a breakout. I think everybody's clear on that, right? But we would want to go short up at this top, right? Because we've identified our swing. We know if it comes up much higher, let me get rid of this one, we don't want it. And you got to get rid of your dot, by the way. Delete, and then hit enter again, and you'll get your other dot back. All right, so we know, for instance, if this goes up, this is resistance right here at 27. This is also resistance right here at 31. And that's still lower than here. Okay, so if this was to hit its head anywhere between these two lines and roll over, we'd be ready to grab that trade. And that's exactly how we draw these lines in the room each and every day. We're using lightning in our own minds and drawing on our charts. And lightning will make a big difference in how much money you can make. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this forward. Now, I'm not up at 6:30 in the morning. I get up usually, alarm goes off at 6:30. I get up about just right at 7, start my coffee and stuff like that. All right, we've got this set, by the way, for touch +2. I'll also be ready over here just in case it misses my sniper, because I know that I want that trade at least close to that line. Okay, so we're going to try to grab it. See if we can get it. And by the way, you could do that with a box also. I'll put that on about 6 times. Now, let me ask you a quick question. If this was to decide to head down, do you see your lightning? See your lightning right here? It would have to take this out, but that doesn't give you enough target, does it? See what I mean? So you wouldn't want to just box this in right here, obviously, because that would be your target. So we're trying to get a retracement. So will sniper fire if it gets within 2 ticks of that line? Yes, Doug. What sniper actually does, and the way we've designed this, see this little green dot right here? It may be a little hard to see, but you can see a green dot on the line. See where I even moved the line? That green dot is the trade. Okay, my line is just a line. That green dot is what actually tells that what we want to do. Okay, so the way I've got it set right now, I've got it set for short inside, which means 2 ticks. Under this, if it happens to get within 2 ticks and roll over 1 tick, it will fire the trade. Okay, and we're just kind of playing around right now, just like always happens when you're watching slow charts. That's what happens. Okay, but we know that, and by the way, if this blew through this should never even fire. Because if it gets within 1 tick of the line and goes on through it, it won't fire at all. Okay, let's see if we can get it. Now, always keep in mind that looking to the left to trade the right, they are going to go up and they're going to check a swing. I mean, that's the way it's done. Okay, we're getting close. Will it blow through it? We'll find out. Now, why did I pick that instead of mid-band, by the way? Now, that should have fired right there, I think. I'm going to go ahead and fire it. Sometimes Market Replay does not fire on Object Trader. It does on mine on my charts, though. All right, so I'm in. All right, am I feeling a little bit of heat? No big deal. Okay, now my stop's 12, and I'm looking here thinking, whoa, this was a pretty good move down. So technically my stop would need to be there, but I'm not going to give them 19 ticks. That's too much money. That's $570. Okay, so what I would do in a case like that is kind of look at this, and about 61% of it, I would probably put my stop just above mid-band, something like that, with exit on close. Okay, let's see something real quick, just a second. How do you know which lightning to draw, Chad? Well, the beauty of lightning is these two are really similar, by the way, power meter 1 and 2. Okay, the lightning 2 is just simply looking for 2 bars in a row, you know, for to be able to roll over. The lightning 1 is actually doing more like this. I'll draw lightning 1. See there? Now, with this actually, notice that just what I talked about a little while ago, this is not a swing yet. Notice this right here? It's not a swing yet. See how it's bouncing off of it a little bit? So doesn't that tell you that your stop would still have to be at the original for right now? I'll show you how to activate the lightning, sure. They have hotkeys on them. And let's go ahead and finish this trade up just real quick. First, let's look to the left. Wow, we don't have anything to the left. So let's just see if we can get this trade. That's all we're going to shoot for. And by the way, we can go ahead and move one target out of the way. All right, because we're going to trust lightning. And I would think that they would come down here, wouldn't you? If they can break this area right here. Now notice we've only got like 90 bucks so far. And believe me, that's going to happen to you. You'll be up 150 if you do like 3 contracts, and then you'll be, down 70 before you actually get that trade going. But I still love this particular way of trading because it works. And let me ask you a question. What would it take at this very moment anyway for this to break to the upside? Think carefully on it. Because we already see a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low. So isn't this our medium swing? And wouldn't this even be what we call our minor swing? See what I mean? So by the way this is looking right now, I would have to at least take out 39 to even think about heading up, and then it would need to take out this 51, 47 area. Okay? Let's see if we can get the rest of this trade. This is slow, slow, slow. I remember trading this morning, not this time of morning, but I remember trading this morning and just thinking, golly, are you going to wake up crude? But that's what happens on a Wednesday. Okay, now we're going to look to the left again to trade the right. Okay, wouldn't I put my stop right here for right now, right? And watch and see, I've got a high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high again, but it hadn't taken out the low. So this is still my what? Identified swing. Now where's my identified swing? It's right there. Everybody see that? Now we still got one left on. So, if this happens to not go down much further, because this looks like it might just stop it, it hit our predictor, that's our swing. If it takes it out, where's our next trade on our chart? Well, let's look and see. We will find out where our next trade is on our chart. Look to the left. Okay, it took out the low. Now we've got a lightning swing right there. Exit on close. And it looks like it may get it too. Not yet though. Now with this action that it's doing right here, where do you think the next trade on this chart would be? More than likely. See it right there, 16. See how they hadn't checked that yet? Now that's probably a little quick. That's just more of a market order because I saw that, in real time, and that looks like a pretty good trade to me. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we talked about that one in the room this morning, didn't we? I'm almost positive we did because we actually got in this trade at 7:59, 8 o'clock time, didn't we? After another what? Retrace. Okay. Where's our lightning swing? Well, if you're using minor lightning, it's right there. If it takes it out, it takes it out. Didn't take it out. Look at that. Whoa, that's a little quicker. That was the open of the market. Now, let's look at it again and see what are they doing. Now, they've broken micro. Where's our medium swing on this chart right now? Well, our little number tells us where our medium swing is. So let me ask you a quick question. Would that be a decent trade right there too? Looks it to me, it's resistance. Now this one I'd probably do something like this, simply because if this does decide to take out that previous swing, I probably wouldn't stick with it. So let's see if this one works out. Now this was the one I'm pretty sure that we called in the room this morning, because this particular trade here, and by the way, I even talked about boxing it in. If you don't want to take a little bit more of an aggressive trade, then do this. When it takes out this little lightning right here, you'll see where this kind of went up. You got a candle down, a candle up, a candle. Take it when it takes it out. See if we can get it. That's good enough for me. Put my stop right there. Okay, and let's see here. Let's get rid of one. And we're going to go for target down here and a target right across here. About like that. All right, and if this doesn't work, it just doesn't work. You can kind of tell they're starting to consolidate, aren't they? But you remember these trades that were called in real time. So this is definitely not a bad way to trade. This is replay data right now, but this is what happens in that room every single day. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Looking at this chart with a high, a low over here, so you have a low, a high. Remember I said you could start anywhere on the chart, a low, a high, a lower low. Isn't this my medium swing right across here? Isn't that my medium swing? So can I trust this trade? I think so, as long as it holds that resistance. Because we still have a downtrend, don't we? As a matter of fact, you could even look at it from this way over here. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, medium swing. Okay? I'm not sure why that lightning drew right there, to be truthful. There should be a number there if it drew there. Now maybe because of that rapid action that happened. That's probably what it was. I can redraw it and it'll draw it right where it should be. That's lightning 2, right? Let's see. That's lightning 1. And this was lightning 3. Okay, so lightning 3, that wasn't lightning 3, that was actually lightning 2. So see, you can look at it. High, just start on your chart, low, lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low, but it's not established yet. But see how it took out that low right down here? See there? And it closed below it, which is one of the criteria I like to use. You know, if it even wicks it with a big candle, you can sometimes trust that too. Okay? Now, we're not talking about counter trend trades tonight because you could probably easily have taken that trade, you know, on a little bounce off that support too. Some people do that. But what I'm going to try to teach as best as I possibly can tonight is identified swings. Okay, let's see. This is where I'm having issues. It's trying to get into the trade. I can see the setup, but trying to figure out how to get in the trade is where I'm having issues. I like the idea of sniper. The region box has been beating you. You know, and that's one thing on your question there, that I am not much of a boxing in type guy, because I can tell you this, little tight consolidations at opens, yes. But to give an example, if you were to box this, like this, well, we need to not move our stop, just need a box. Okay, if you were to box this in like this, okay, now what is that going to more than likely do? What do you think it's going to do? Because I can tell you what it's going to do before it ever does it. It's going to come down below here. It's going to get you filled. Watch and see if it doesn't do it. It's going to come down. It's going to retrace. And you're going to get filled right in here anyway, right? And then it's going to do maybe this. Now, we don't know if it's going to do it, but that's what it should do if you get a little breakout. Okay, watch and see. Okay, we're short 3. Let's just be short 1 for the fun of it. I'll go ahead and get rid of 2 of these, okay? Because I want to show you how you can even add to this if you want to, if we get the signal. Let's see if we can get it. Break and retrace. Hadn't broken, right? Got to break and retrace. There's the break. Not quite, didn't close. No close, that's where they'll fake you in. Let's see if we can get a close. Now, I don't add on a break, by the way, because to me that's risky. Let's say, for instance, if I wanted to add like 3, if I did it right below the box, that's a breakout trade. Now, watch what it'll actually do, though. It'll usually come right back up And that one didn't. That's okay. It broke down and we're still in the trade. We're fine. Okay? So that one worked okay with the breakout. Sometimes they don't. But notice that we're still in our trade and we're good to go. Okay? Anybody remember this particular trade this morning, very possibly? Anybody at all? Where's our next trade on this chart? Well, let's look at our chart and see if we can figure it out again. Where's our stop first, though? Remember, identified lightning. It's not quite closing below this, but it did close below this lightning once. See it? Little thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay, we're out of the trade. Okay, now I'm going to slow this down for a minute because I want you to tell me where the next trade is on this chart. Because isn't it happening as we're speaking here? Isn't that actually happening? That's a little late, but I'll bet it works. I'll put my stop above the swing. That was a predictor. Yeah, and I was a little late on it too, so let's see if it works. Now notice you're starting to go sideways, so I'd start tightening up my trades a little bit. See where they might be going. Looking to the left to trade the right. There's two nice targets right there. Oh, you could let one go. You want to let one go? Somebody said, let one go. You always like a runner. All right, let's let one go. Now, wouldn't our stop be right here? That's our identified swing over here to the left. We got in. Now, let me ask you a quick question too, though. Where would be even a safer trade than this? Well, you could actually box it in like this. And again, you know, once you box in, you got to look to the left. Where would this go if this breaks this line? Well, it could go just to here. That's not very far. It could go to here. It could go to here. Okay? So if you box it, you got to realize that a lot of times they're going to come back and they're going to kiss first. Okay? Let's see if it does. I'm going to pretend to box this in, and you tell me if it kisses it again. And we got one runner, so we're good to go. Let's speed it up a little bit. We're 30 minutes into the webinar. You missed that one? On the thing about the mid-band, and when you can clearly see support and resistance, and they're not taking it out and stair-stepping, you got to start looking at the those medium swings, and then trying to short them like, well, these predictors are really good. Okay, now watch this. See if this breaks this box. See, it's breaking the box, hadn't closed. Now, if you took that, let's say you weren't even in a trade, and you decided to take that on the close of a bar. This is what happens to most people. It may just blow it down, but if it does, it does. All right, let's say you took it right there. Now, what's going to normally happen to this trade? See there? Break out of a box will usually turn right back in. You could draw your lightning on the chart, and you've got your swing right up here. So your stop would literally have to be all the way up in that area, right? So see, you're feeling heat when you take those breakout trades like that. Now, what normally happens on a trade like this? It'll usually pop down below, more than just 4 ticks, by the way. Let's do it again the right way. Now I'll show you. Now this may, we may get a little breakup, I don't know, but our lightning swing is right there. All right, let's see if we can get a break down below the box and a pullback into the box. That's what we're looking for. Thrust, retrace, thrust. Okay, there it is. Came almost right back where we wanted it, didn't it? There it is. See how that kissed? That's what boxes do. Now, am I afraid of that trade at all? Nope, because my stop would be right there, just above that swing. Exit on close. If it takes it out a little bit more, I'll bring it down to here. Now I'm going to show you like a YM chart also. Well, Pervez, that's what I like to do personally, is if you draw those boxes. Now, at the open of the market, keep in mind that a lot of times they just break and go. And also, if you get a little tight consolidation box, you know where your support and resistance is. You know, there's a lot of those you can still take. Remember the other morning when we said, wow, we hate to buy it up here because it's already thrust, but, you know, mama didn't raise no fools either, because, you know, when it broke, I mean, we had blue bars, we were up nicely, and then all of a sudden the market opened, okay, and we got us a nice trade. Here's another one coming up, by the way, isn't it? Let's see, did it identify high, low, lower high? Did not get a lower low, so I'd be looking for more right in through here instead. And we didn't get, well, we missed it. It was a mid-band trade. That's okay. And I've got this going at 20 times also, so we just missed that one. Okay, let's see. Hi, my trial indicator does not have the overbought green bar, an oversold pink bar, and the middle line trend. You're saying that you don't have this indicator right here? That particular indicator, go into your indicators, right click and go into your chart, and make sure you have this indicator right here called VIP Dynamic Trend. And if that's not on your template, be sure and put that on your template. And I'd be more than happy to help you tomorrow after the room closes, no problem. Okay, look at this. We're going to get another chance on this. Now, if you're a little gutsy, you know, take one if it breaks that line to the downside, right? Like that. All right, put your stop just above the swing, like so. Now watch what it'll more than likely do, though, is we'll come back and it'll kiss some type of a spot when you get a breakdown. Now that was a little tighter one. I like those. And we got another trade. Okay, now this is 926. Do you remember what I said in the room at 926? Here comes 930. Watch what happened. Y'all remember that? Holy moly. Now when they do that, turn off predictor, turn off your lightning. That was one crazy move, wasn't it? But looking to the left to trade the right, and you do have plenty of time. Can you see medium swing? And what's the definition of an uptrend? High, low, which your low is actually right there. Higher high, higher low, right? Now let's see if we can get an actual trade. This was still already just into the 930. Now you've got a medium swing right here. So where do you think this is going to more than likely pull back? I'd draw two lines on this chart, and between those two lines, I'd be jumping in that trade. And if you remember right, anybody remember? We actually called that trade. Now, did we take the thrust? No, it's still moving too quick. Can't take out what we call the medium trend. See it? High, low, higher, high. Okay, let's see if we can get it. I'm going to do it with a bar close. I don't want time trader. I want bar close. Too late. Anyway, see it? Came perfectly where we wanted it to, right between the two lines. And what did we get? What's the definition of an uptrend? High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low again. And by the way, on this particular one, this was really breaking to the upside. So if you want to really make some coin, go for that top, because it did a beautiful job. And then do a runner. Everybody remember that trade? This is not hokey pokey. In the room this morning, we called that trade right there at that mid band. Okay? You draw on your chart. Now see what it's doing right now? It's coming down a little bit. Well, a little too late now, but let's see if it touches that line again. Too late. It came down twice. You could have actually added some contracts to it, but I've got it running still a little too quick. All right. Watch how fast this will actually turn into money, though, when you absolutely know how to trade it. I am not sure why this is actually counting like this. Let me check something here real quick. Let's see. Yeah, oil's actually got just a long, let me check the orders here. Okay. See how that's coming down right there? Now, that's probably a few extra contracts. And like I said, I'm not sure why this is counting this way, because this should be actually counting up to the upside big time right now. So I may have messed up Object Trader. The one thing about Market Replay, you can absolutely mess up Object Trader. But this turned out to be a very decent little trade. Where would my stop be? Looking to the same way we talked about earlier. Wouldn't you go ahead and move it up under the swing? Wait for a little pullbacks, got it exit on close. Wait for a little pullback so you can get lightning. Closes above. Not yet. Lightning's not here yet, is it? Identified lightning will only be at this line when it takes that top out. Higher low. Matter of fact, it's on a trend line too. Pretty close, isn't it? This dawdled around for a little bit. Everybody remember that? But see where your stop has to be right now? That has to be under here. Now with 8 contracts, you might not want to do that. You might want to go ahead and dump 4 of them. But let's see if we can get a lightning back to the upside. Here's lightning again right here. Whoop, sorry about that. Thrust, retrace, thrust. Didn't close below it though, so I'm going to still use this as lightning. There you go. Couldn't you raise it now? Where should this hit its head if it comes back a little bit? 79, because it just broke out of there. Watch it and see if it doesn't do it. They constantly check these swings. Kiss. Everybody sees that? Now where would your stop be? Let's get these out of the way for a minute. That looks like a pretty good little run. Everybody see the stop right there? Lightning. Let's see, when the market quickly went up, did it auto trade long and close to the short position? Well, it doesn't have any shorts on. Let me show you real quick. So your position, this is all Market Replay. You're long 4. See, it shows 4. So everything's fine there. Let me get that target moved. Oh, we got another one up here. We're good. Where's your lightning swing? Again, if you can't see it, draw it. It's right there. Identified lightning swing. Everybody sees that? Where will identified lightning swing be if it takes out which side? Just the way I drew it earlier. High, low, higher high, maybe higher low, but not yet. This is your low. If it takes that out, this is going to be your stop. Closes above. Closed right on it. Let's wait for this one to close above it. That's it. That's it. Now let me ask you a quick question again. Where did this break out and has not checked yet? Where do you think the next trade is on this chart? Because I'm pretty sure I drew it in the room if it takes us out. Anybody see the line already? We drew it. Okay, you had a whole consolidation patch that was resistance. It popped up above it. What is this now called? Support. How do you know where to place your exit targets to take gains? Well, what you can do on that, BG, on your question, you don't have to actually have a set area that you want to take. Now, you can look to the left to trade the right, obviously, okay, and see you've got a swing right under here at like 14. And technically, this is a lower high so far. See it? So this could easily what? Head back down, couldn't it? Because this is what we call our fourth trend. Notice this huge move down, okay? Don't pay attention to the yellow. We're looking at blue. Okay, so this is a high, and it went all the way down, and now you're all the way back up, but that's a lower high again. Now that's looking at your overall trend. To see that, you have to kind of scrunch it down, thrust, retrace, big thrust down, okay? That's what I call your longer term identified swing. But if you were looking at this trade right here, where is your next trade on this chart? If we get taken out, when we may still head up, and that's fine with me. If we get another lightning, we'll just keep heading up. My stop's right there. Because looking to the left to trade the right, they have not tested where they broke out. So I'd be looking for a trade right down here, and very possibly even right on top of here. So that'd be my two lines. Your safest trade, though, is at or below mid-band for a long and the opposite for a short. This may take us out. We'll find out. It looks like it's going to. That's now doing a little lightning to the downside on this right-hand side. See it? High, low, lower high, lower low, but it hadn't closed yet. Still didn't close yet. Still okay. Is anybody in the least bit confused on this at all? Because if you remember in the room this morning, these are those trade calls that were called on oil for the morning. Now, we didn't get this monster right here. I mean, let's ask you a question. Would you have had a long? I mean, you know, in hindsight, of course, right? But would you have had a long sitting there for a breakout? Well, that's what happened. No, no. But didn't we get this trade right here this morning in the room? Absolutely we did. And it was boxed in. Where's your next trade on this chart? What do you think? Now, one thing you want to look for also when you're trading, thrust, retrace, little thrust. So actually I call that leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. That's like a big ABC, but it didn't take out my previous swing over here. Okay, that would be our next target, right? Let's see if we can get this trade right here. Where was which box, Tom, on your question? To trade safely, yes, you could actually do a box. Now, if you do a box, let's say, for instance, I want this trade right here at this line. All right, I could actually box it in, right? Something like that, and hit my insert button, and I'd have it like this. That's resistance right across there. So let's say this did break out and I could get up here, okay? So we'll go with like 2, and we'll go with inside touch plus 2. Oh, I took the predictors off. Let's go ahead and put them back on. I took them off because of all that, but let's put it back on. You do have a predictor right here, but remember, looking to the left to trade the right. What is this doing right now? It's retracing from a large move to come back down to where it broke out or lower. Look at there. We just got that trade. +2, that's fine. Let's see if we can get another little box and see if we can get a little bit more on it. I don't like that. That's too much of a breakout. If we get a little consolidation patch here that makes lightning, we'll add 2. But if it doesn't, we won't. Because this is your top of your box right here. Notice how that all goes off. That's the way we want it. It looks like it's going to take that out anyway, maybe. See if we can get another lightning swing. See how that came perfectly down? Notice how with the region set on +2 that it got that trade? I had that line drawn in the room this morning to take that trade, and it also was a mid-band trade too. Now what's the rule of thumb on mid-bands? 85% gets around 50-ish, right? Now this more than likely is going to go all the way up here, but we didn't add, so we're okay. Everybody see that? So this is about a 50% chance of a trade, and you really don't want to go for the third one unless you really get these really great ratchets up. Now, let me ask you a quick question on this chart. If you were looking at this chart to trade either direction during the morning, to give an example, let's see where the medium trend is on this chart. Let's draw it. I'll draw it from, now let's see. We'll draw it from down here. Now so far it's all the way down here. Now that would be way too far down to go for a short. Let's see if we can figure one out. If this gets a number, this is support. That'd be a risky trade, wouldn't it? But if this does actually break down below support, we could head all the way down here and still get a higher low, right? I'm going to try that again just because that peaked up, just for the fun of it. And I would definitely put a very tight stop on that trade. That's 5 ticks. See why I took that? Because it came right down onto a previous support area. You can see it over here to the left. It looked like a good one. Okay, anytime you're looking at charts though, you got to be realizing that they could change trends even, and you got to know where that's at. Okay, just by looking at the chart. Let's just fast forward this and see if we can figure out if this changes at all. We were in the room till 10 o'clock. I didn't trade after that, but I've seen this action so many times it's pathetic. Well, that's a nice little trade. Turned out to be pretty good, didn't it? Drawing your lines, let's see. They haven't checked here yet. I'll take it again if it, might have missed it. There we got it. See why I took that? It was trying to check that same area. Now it checked a little lower, that's okay with me. See, because it still held support. My stop would be probably just right under this area right here. And if it took out lightning to the upside, you could always add. Not yet. Not yet still. Going to check again. Come on, make a little smaller lightning so we can get it. That's a little riskier right there. That is lightning though. See it right there? Why did I take that? Because it took out lightning swing. Now if you were taking that for the first time, what would you do? That's a breakout trade. But we were already in some trades, so that was a pretty good trade. All right, now look at your chart, what has showed up now. See that number that just showed up? Right there? What is that? That's telling you that our medium swing is right here. Okay? So what is this telling us on this chart? You have a high, you have a low. You didn't take out your high yet. You're starting to get lower highs here. So if they broke this right here, could you actually very possibly take a trade to the downside? If they do, that's your medium swing. It's the same thing as over here, by the way. If you look at this chart, high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low there. All right, you got a lower low finally, so that's a medium swing, right? Right there, that swing. And that's what happened. Will it happen the same exact way if it happens to break? Let's find out. I see this happen all the time when we close the room down. I got it really fast. There you go. You broke. Now, I didn't take the trade, obviously. I just wanted to show you what they actually do. And what do they also do? Well, it came really, really close to predictor, didn't it? So let me ask you a quick question. If you were actually watching this in real time and happened to go away and got some coffee and you knew that you had a medium swing under here and it broke it, like so, pretty majorly, right? There's no kisses on here yet. But where's your kiss trade on it? Well, you draw a line here. You watch for a predictor. There's your predictor. Always look to the left to see where they've been and where they broke down. They took out that little swing. So by doing that, they're actually checking more medium. There's another swing right here to the left, and that should actually hold. And it did. Okay? Now, what if you missed that trade? What would you need to do? Well, you need to wait for another trade to show up, don't you? So, and we're almost through. We've got 3 minutes to go. So let's see. I'm going to let this go fast forward, and y'all tell me where you can get in another trade. There's a predictor, right? What if it doesn't get to there's another predictor. Didn't get to it though, did it? Haven't had a mid-band trade yet. Notice that since it turned. Now, could you have gotten this trade? Absolutely. You could have literally just gotten in it when it came back to resistance and rolled over. But I'm trying to show you what if you miss a thrust. Okay, let's see if we can get a trade. Mid-band, you've got a swing right across there. Everybody see that? Right where I wanted it. That's where you would have wanted it too, wouldn't you? And of course, you'd want to move your target out of the way. Okay? There's another little area to add. See how it just kind of came down and came right back to the little kiss area? Should it hold? Should hold. Target will be right there. Target will be right there. Look to the left to trade the right. Where'd they break up? They broke up down here at 17. If they happen to break solid and hard, they'll probably go all the way down to 17. But if we're in only two, like right now, where's our lightning swing on this chart? Everyone? Isn't it right there? And now it's right there. If they're really close like this, you can always back it up one. Okay? Draw your lightning and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let me draw it for you. See that lightning swing? Low, lower high, lower low. So there's your lightning swing now, but a minute ago it was up here, wasn't it? So isn't this your lightning swing now? You can always put it at the secondary if you want to really stay with the trade. See, that's your secondary swing. Right now anyway. See how it took out that swing right there? Didn't take out that one. Not yet anyway. And now that's a lower high, and I'd probably put it there. Now, what if you weren't in this trade right now? Let's say that you walked in and you just thought, you know what? I don't have a trade going right now. Well, let's get rid of everything on the chart and let's see if everybody can figure out the next trade before I wrap. I'm going to look to the left to trade the right. This was support. It's now resistance. If we're going to head down, don't we need lower highs and lower lows? We just got that one just a second ago, but we missed it. So let's see if we can get another one. You got a swing right here too. See your thrust, retrace thrust. That's on the left-hand side of the chart. So I'm going to draw two lines. And let's see if we can get a trade. And here's another one that you could look at too, right here. So let's see if we can get a trade. Got it a little bit late, but wasn't it perfect? Wasn't that perfect? Trust those, I'll tell you what, those lightning identified swings are darned hard to beat. They're really hard to beat. Now we're going to get, yeah, we already got stopped. Where would our next trade be on this chart though? We need some kind of a pullback, okay? Or we need a little break. Now here's your little break if you want to see if you can get in this trade. See if it goes anywhere between that or breaks that line. Yeah, missed it. See where I boxed it though? Didn't quite come back to resistance, did it? Might do it again though. I'd probably grab that trade literally just hitting market, but I got it going 30 times, so it's too quick to grab. Okay, but does everybody see the trade? And you can always look at these charts and you'll see where they broke down and where they're going to come back to if you just draw lightning on your charts. Anybody not see it? I'm going to stick around for like 2 or 3 more minutes and we're going to see if we can get another one. Lightning secondary swing is right here. It's a little stronger swing. Should that hold on a pullback? What do you think? I got it going 30 times. Got to make a decision. What do you think? You want to try it? All right, we'll try it. Now keep in mind, if it takes the swing out, we're in the red now. I'd put my stop actually on this one since we got in here. I'd put it just closer to this swing right here, looking to the left. Is that a decent trade? That's a mid-band trade. Will it stop us out? Very possibly. We'll find out here. Because that is how many mid-band trades? That's the second one. That's a 50% reliable one. But truthfully, see this lightning still heading up? Where would lightning be not heading up when it takes that out right there? We're going 30 times. I'll see if I can catch it. See it taking out that little swing? And there's a predictor right there. And that turned out to be a decent little trade. And where would our stop be based on what I taught already? Right across there. Will it take it out? Probably. Didn't yet though. Took us out. Now where's our next trade on this chart? Well, let's draw it again. Got to swing right across here. You got to swing right across here. ABC. There's a predictor. I'll take it when it goes back below the line. See it? Took out support. See if we can get a little trade. Didn't close below it, but that's okay. I like that particular trade anyway. A nice predictor trade. And my stop would be above the resistance area, which is right over here. That's also a blue bar probe trade. And you can clearly see why boxes are a little bit tougher, because the one thing that'll happen with boxes, they'll usually break. See this little box right here? What did it do? It broke, pulled back and kissed, and even rolled over higher, didn't it? So that's what I personally don't like about little boxes. Now around the midband, possibly a little bit better. But even if you took this trade, see how it pops down and pulls back and kisses and then rolls? That's what you always got to be looking for. Okay? Does anybody have any final questions before we wrap? Let's see. Doug says, I took a short on YM this afternoon. It's set up like this, and it went 40 ticks. There you go. And asking the same question that I just asked, what would it take to change trend directions on this particular chart? You had a thrust, retrace, thrust. That was an ABC, right? But it didn't go ahead and head up. It went ahead and rolled over. Okay? So you've rolled over so far. I'd put my stop right there. Okay? When they break a swing, to give an example, this medium swing here, if they would have broken this swing right here by, say, 10 or 12 ticks or something like that, and then come back and sat on top of it, and then bounced up, that would be a trade to take. Okay? But so far, you know, you're looking at shorts, right? You've got a magenta midband, which is clearly heading down. You've got a background that's transition, but your midband hadn't transitioned yet. And I think I'm at the end of my data. Let's see what it'll do for the rest of the afternoon. See if it stops us out or not. If it does, it does. Where would you think the next trade on this chart would be? Well, we ran out of data, but I'll bet you if you look at your charts, more than likely it's right in through there. See, it barely took it out, checked support, took support out, hasn't checked resistance. So I'll bet you you'll get another predictor right in through here, and it'll roll over. Okay, so keep in mind there are three trends on your charts that you're always going to want to look at. The ones with the numbers are really important because that's pretty much telling you what Lightning 3 is doing. Is, you know, when you draw it, does that look like an uptrend yet? High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high than this one, right? Lower low, lower high so far, right? Where's your medium trend on this chart? Well, on the left, it's here. On the right, we may be starting to break up if we start holding higher lows. But we don't know that because we ran out of data. Okay? But what would it take to actually change the trend on this chart? I would like to see it thrust up, pull back, break up, and come back and kiss this area here or this area here, if it heads up. If it heads down, what would you be looking for? Well, if you're not in this trade yet, you'd be looking for a breakdown. Hopefully take out this low here, right, by some amount, maybe even 3 or 4 ticks, it doesn't matter. And then you would be looking for which trade that it hasn't checked yet. Hadn't checked that line right there. See that support area right there? It's pretty strong too. See a lightning, lightning, and lightning. So isn't that resistance? So if it breaks, pulls back and kisses, would very possibly roll over. If it breaks to the upside, what's it going to do? Well, you need to at least take out one of these Lightning 3 swings. And since this one's only 5 ticks away from this one, I would personally want it to take this one out right here, come back and kiss it, and then take off. So there's 2 trade setups right there. You'd be looking for this, like that. Okay? Now let me show you one thing. I know I'm running about 9 minutes over. I want to show you one other thing real quick on the YM chart. See if it'll change on me, hopefully. Bear with it just a second. All right. Anybody remember this in the room this morning? I got short on YM way up here. I showed it in the room. Okay. Now remember I didn't have my stop moved, so obviously you would have been taken out even on what we call your Lightning 3, but I didn't. I had my stop literally way up here on my runner, but when I did finally set it, I set it at 27, remember? We even shorted that where Charles was long, okay? But where did this trade start literally breaking to the upside? We even mentioned this down here at Phantom. You know, that's the first time into Phantom after a trend change. But if you're one of those that just stays on predictors, no predictor trade, no predictor trade, may have been one right here. It missed it by a tick at least, but this one hit it, touched the predictor, and off it went. But if you missed that one, look at this. We had a line drawn at 27. It breaks it. What did it do? It pulled back and kissed, and then it takes off. And that's what they do. And if you look to the left to trade the right, when it took this out, you draw two lines on it, don't you? You draw one there too and see where it kissed. Always look at your swings that are identified. And that's why we draw those in the room in real time, so that we can all get those monster trades like that. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming, and this was recorded and I'll get it up on the web. I hope you saw tonight where you can absolutely see, and especially if you look at these things like this. See, that's Lightning 3, the yellow one, and the green one here. And this is Lightning 1. Everybody see that? And there's trends on each of them. And always get to learning always that this is the same thing as this. It's just that this one can get you in a little bit sooner. But you've always got to look to the left to trade the right, because when this broke down, in my personal opinion, was when it actually took out that swing right there. Okay, you could say it broke over here even, but see, it didn't really do anything more than a 1, 2, 3, and when it finally broke that, that was a break, and it kissed it. That's your aggressive trade, and this would be a little bit more like right here, high, low, higher, high. If it breaks this and comes back and kisses and rolls, and you'd be able to take that too. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. And one thing about it too is we will be showing these, you know, live in the room as far as these areas to get in and everything, and you'll see it on your actual charts. Kenneth says, sometimes I have a quandary about how far left to look for swings. Well, on the minor swings, you got to be a little bit more careful. But if you look at the Lightning swings on Lightning 3, I just simply draw on my chart. There's my medium swing right there. There's a low right there. Right now, that's where it is, and it hadn't taken out this low yet, even in real time, right? So this more than likely is going to be my medium swing, okay? But we won't know that until it takes out at least this area right here. See your high, your low, your higher high. Until it takes that out, we don't know. That's more than likely going to be the medium swing though, okay? Because you wouldn't obviously want to wait to break here to go long. You know, we'll be watching it. It'll probably happen overnight, but you've had a thrust, a retrace, and a thrust. That's what we call an ABC, and very well could be starting of a trend change. And it is starting to bounce off support too. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Sorry I ran you 13 minutes over again. Bye everyone. Thanks.